Hey everybody, Big Toad here. Let's draw a Spinosaurus. Let's start at his neck and go back along his back and down to the tip of his tail. Back to his neck, and we'll start the neck back where then it gets to his chest, sticks out a little, and then we'll bring it right back around and follow that all around to the tip of its tail. Let's round it off where his head connects to his neck. Let's smooth out the shape a little bit of his head and neck there. Now we can come straight out to the end of his snout. We can round out the end of that snout and make it a little bulbous. Now shape the upper jaw a little bit, get that detail in, and then bring it back down to the jawline. Shape the neck a little bit and start on that lower jaw. We'll bring that down. Let's mark the end of it there. And work on that mouth a little bit more. Put some of that chin in. Bring it back out there and connect it. And add a little more length to that top snout. I'm going to adjust the chest and neck a little bit. Now let's start the fun part and go up on that big fan that goes over his back. And he has a fin that runs down the top of his tail. I'm going to shape that back tail a little bit better. Now I'll finish that fin and it disappears and it comes out the other side. Let's move up to the front shoulder. Start working on that front leg. Bring it back a little bit to the elbow. Down to the wrist where we angle it back. And we can put those webbed hands on. Let's move back to the back leg. Sketching down to his knee. Put that lower leg on as it bends back slightly to the ankle. Now the webbed foot. We'll make all those feet look nicer when we put the black in. Erase some of those lines we don't want. Don't forget the eyeball. Let's make that other front leg just barely hanging down. Now the other back leg. Part of the lower leg to the ankle, and then we'll stick a webbed foot hanging in there. I want to add a little length to the front foot's toes.
Hey everybody, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up.
Now let's take our black and start on that snout. Bring it back to the eyeball, up and around the top of the head and down a little bit. Let's draw in that eyeball. There we go, color it in. Now we can do the rest of that snout. And bring it all the way back to the back of the head. Let's put in the lower jaw. Bring it back down to the snout and back up to the back of his mouth. And then there we go. And then under the jaw there, back to the back of the head. From his head, let's draw his back all the way around to the end of his tail. And then back up again to the hind leg. Now his neck to his front shoulder. We can work on that front shoulder down to his elbow. And down to his wrist. The other side of his arm and down to his wrist, and now his fingers on his webbed hand. Delicate fingers. Webbing between the fingers and claws. Now the other hand, fingers, webbing, and claws. Now the back leg down to the knee and into the ankle there. The back foot with some toes and webbing and more claws. The second back foot, long toes, webbing, claws, just hanging down there. A couple little detail lines here and there on the legs. Now some nice sharp teeth on the upper jaw. A few back here as well. There we go. Some on the lower jaw, on both sides. The hint of a tongue in his mouth and some shading. Highlight line behind the eye. Now some spikes running down his back to the big fin. When we put the big fin in, we'll put some spikes built in. We'll take them up to the top, don't have to be real careful, and then we'll start on the back and we'll bring them together. They don't have to be the same size or shape. Now we can put these lines in. They don't go all the way. They go part way and then some dots, part way and some dots, part way and some dots. It kind of gives the effect of a ridge going from the back up to those spines. You see some dashes and dots. That's a nice effect. Now the fin that runs along his tail, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. See, mine kind of jagged. Then we can start putting some spikes on there. And we'll put them randomly along there. And we'll go back and put some more in the middle. They can be different lengths. That's fine. Don't forget the fin and spikes on the lower part of the tail. Let's add some stripes on his neck and body. Make him look more real. Give him some texture. And there is our Spinosaurus. This is the Big Toad, and I am out.